serious about making a commitment to change my life. What can I give him? What can I do? And perhaps she stood on the street that night and she is preparing to sell her body to one of the congressmen or one of the city councilmen or one of the leaders of the city. And she goes and makes that exchange and lays down in the, I feel like preaching now, lays down in the bed. And although she's going through the motions physically, her mind is somewhere else. And after the exchange is over, she takes his money and says, you know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stack this. I'm not going to spend it. I'm going to stack it. And she goes back the next night and runs into the next John. And she goes through the same thing and says, I'm going to stack it. And after a while, she had a nice little accumulation of money. She says, but what can I give him? What can I show him? What can I present to the man? And the book says that she went out and found a box of alabaster. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me here. Found a box of alabaster, and she paid for the box with the money that she used that had her in bondage. Y'all ain't gonna talk. And after she goes on a little while, she says, I can't present the man an empty box, but I gotta give him, I gotta put something in here. What can I give this man that will show him my gratitude? And even though he might not do anything for me, just based on her testimony, I'm ready to give him something just to be thankful that even if I don't make it out, I'm glad he got her out of it. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me here. What can I give him? And the book said that she went and bought some oil, some expensive oil. And y'all women know that if you have some good oil, some good perfume, if you put it on your body, that scent will last for hours. And if you bathe in it, and it might last for a day. You ain't gonna hear me, because it gets down in your pores. It even gets into your hair. And anytime you walk by, you can smell the aroma and the fragrance of the oil that you put on your body. And this woman buys this oil, and she goes back to the house after just getting out of bed with another man. But she takes the oil and she begins to pour it into the alabaster box. And while she's pouring, her mind, she hit the rewind button in the video camera of her mind, and she started reflecting all the way back to the first man that molested her, that started her down the track of prostitution. Her mind started going back to the men that raped and abused her. Her mind started reflecting back to how, y'all ain't gonna help me preach. Her mind started going back, and she started thinking about how they had stripped of her self-esteem, stripped her of her self-worth, stripped her of her dignity, stripped her of her femininity. And as she's pouring, the tears started running down her face, and she's pouring with one hand, and tears are falling in on the other side. And she's saying, everybody don't know what I've had to go through. They don't know what I've had to endure. They don't know the nights that I felt like blowing my brains out because I didn't want to feel like this any longer. But she pours it all in, and the tears come streaming. And the Bible says that she makes her way to the house of Simon, and she walks into the door. Y'all ain't gonna help me preaching here. Somebody ought to say yes. She walks up to the door and knocks on the door, and the handmaiden opens the door and immediately recognizes this woman and got ready to slam the door in her face. But before she could slam it, the woman stuck her foot in the door, said, not this time, baby. I'm serious now. I came for some real deliverance. Move out the way, girl. And in those days, the men, when they sat and ate, they sat on the floor with their legs crossed or reclining backwards. Can you see this woman of ill repute, this woman of the night, start stepping over men and looking at him and say, how you doing? I ain't here to see you tonight. I was with you last week. How you doing? Hey, Senator, how are you? How you doing, brother pastor? Same time next week? All right. How you, excuse me. And they're looking at her. And the disciples look at Jesus and said, if he only knew who this woman was. And the book said that the woman perhaps might have said, I didn't come here to see you. I came to see Jesus. And in this next dimension, apostle, when people start coming to the door, you don't know the box that they have. You don't know the oil that's in it. And you don't know the price they paid to get what they got. And they're going to come in the door. And you can sit there and look at them with that churchified look if you want to, while they're praising in their little skirt, hoochie skirt. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me with the cleavage hanging. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me in here with earrings all in their ears. But they're gonna come at you and you can look at them crazy if you want to. They're gonna look right back at you. So I didn't come here to see you. I came to see Jesus. I heard about the man. I heard about him. I'm tired of living like this. I ain't coming in playing. What I gotta do? Cover up. Give me a towel. I cover it up. I do whatever you tell me. But I didn't come here to see you. I came to see Jesus.